sitting on both Steam and the Nintendo eShop, with a free demo since about 7 days ago, I think. At number 1, we have a game called Megs Monster. This is an RPG story-focused turn-based adventure. I like to think, to some extent at least, taking inspiration from the Monster Incorporation animation, in which this little girl is in critical need of aid from a huge blue monster in this beautifully dangerous fantasy world. This game's set to be coming to PCs and Switch, Xbox consoles as well, March 2nd. Been in development for about 3 years already. Full Circle over here is now finally coming out for PCs only initially, possibly on other consoles later in June this year. Guys, Full Circles I've mentioned maybe just once here on the channel, maybe last year, is actually one of the most advanced in gameplay, graphics, and story, pixel design games out of the company Dick 13, or just technically in general. That's actually a little bit in the same style as Yuden games, in any case, which is actually more colorful and livelier in overall aesthetics. Just keep it in mind. Sea of Stars will now launch for PCs, PlayStation 4, 5, and Xbox consoles, and the Nintendo Switch August 29 this year. There's actually a demo only available on the Nintendo eShop right now for PCs. There is also another demo in the making, set to be coming out in about 30 days. That's actually confirmed by developers. Sea of Stars, for those of you new, is actually one of the top 5 biggest RPG retro games in the making, getting tons of updates recently, and come to mention, we got a new trailer for it too. Next up at number 4, from a tad over a year ago, we have Ulterium Shift, a 2D, 3D JRPG loot-based adventure, as described by Steam Tags category list, actually sitting there with a free demo and set to be a PC exclusive, releasing in about 3 to 4 months from now. Ulterium Shift is actually a choice-based game where you and 2 other main characters, all female, have to decide for the best outcome, letting you choose which one to play and what story you choose. Check it out just in case you missed it. In case you have missed out on the reveal trailer this year, Nippon Ichi Software has already released a Disgaea game called Disgaea 7 Vows of the Virtualists. Another strategy RPG 2D, pretty much another classic following the series' formula, that's already sold over 100,000 copies in Japan. Vows of the Virtualists is in Japanese right now. It's set to be coming to more regions by April and May in East, and finally globally in English around August this year. We've heard. Coming our way finally, March 8th, for PCs only. Probably Switch and other consoles following a month. At number 6 we have, once again, Sanctuary Saga by Boomer's Workshop. One of the most anticipated roguelike RPGs in the making for years. Sanctuary Saga is actually quite a bit inspired by the Chrono games, at its core a party-based and story-heavy, and quite generous of, as stated by developers, in replay and content. Number 7, it's the Smile Alchemist. Smile Alchemist from earlier this year is personally totally new to myself. It's described as an alchemist sim containing the fun elements of character development, collection, and above them all, alchemy itself. Here's a sold trailer that they've actually come up with, looking glorious, I would say, and confirmation that the game is coming to PCs into both generation of consoles. Not really sure for Switch as well, but March 2nd this year. Just like the first game, the Megs Monster. Take a look.
Welcome to Shire, the perfect getaway from the hustle of busy living.
Moving on, we have over here once again merge games and Capabits, a little bit of farming life sim that they've been cooking since 2020, going by the name Shire, and the news of the game's now coming to PCs and Switch in about 2 months. Shire is basically a sandbox RPG in which you have to build this town called Shire, where you have to do a lot of building, exploration, and combat, fighting. Let's take a quick look.
The wonders of Shire. While making your first steps in the town of Shire, you'll meet Eva, Jack, and all the other inhabitants of the town.
Number 9. Announced roughly 2 months ago, we've got over here Blip, something called Blip. You'll figure out in a second through the trailer, this game is actually an open world pirate RPG, pirate ship single-player strategy RPG that actually, as stated by developers, inspired heavily by Stardew Valley, where you just inherited this small ship from your parents' death and now making your way up into the world by making a lot of friends, building, crafting a court, then upgrading the ship and fighting. So that's it. Y'all remember Into the Moon, right? That's literally the single most heartbreaking story-heavy pixel art game that was ever made, ever. Got like just 100 out of 100 on Steam in score. Look it up. Anyway, this series is now making something called Just a To the Moon Series Beach episode, which is technically described literally as just a To the Moon Series Beach episode. Anyway, it's said to be a pretty short trip, possibly a free game, I'm not sure, and due out in about a month. Guys, you all familiar with the game Raccoon, everybody call this a different name. A JRPG pixel art story-heavy puzzle that was first released for PCs about 6 years ago. A 10 out of 10, literally rated on most websites, gem of a game that's now actually making its way to the Nintendo Switch March 23 this year. See guys, another Wukong game going by the name Mr. Saito is also coming to both platforms, PCs and Switch simultaneously. There's a demo available for it on Steam, and this is how it looks. Legend of Wukong, originally titled as Wukong Legend or Wukong Rumors. If you're a fossil enough like me, you probably know about this from 30 years ago or something like that. This is a Taiwanese RPG adventure that first came out for the Sega Mega Drive back then, and now it's in the making for PCs. Technically just an identical port, but this time around it's going to be running on Windows platform without any emulator. Anyway guys, this game's set to be coming out sometime later this year. Said to be coming out for PCs around November this year. At number 13 we have something called Enderlands. I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned this one before, but I sure believe it deserved a mention. This is a deck building, actually action RPG, colony sim to some extent, puzzler. Not sure if that even makes sense, but it's practically what the game is, which is actually, I think, maybe just the best combination ever. It's looking great. Take a quick look. This was actually a Kickstarter project that has already met all of its initial goals.
Science, truth, justice, and trust. Join Lunar Warrior Bella and her trusty robot sidekick Tetra.
Sitting on Steam through a free demo, since the beginning of the month. We've got over here Lunar Lux. What is touted as a science fiction adventure RPG that sits on the moon in the year 3023. That's like at least 1,000 years away. Here's some gameplay. This game is a PC exclusive, gathering funds on the Kickstarter campaign that's just like so far got about 5 times more of its initial, and eventually coming out for consoles and Switch as well.
Combos on your enemies by combining any 3 active skills together. There are over 30 unique combinations to discover.
And last but not least, it's a game called Crystallized. Guys, Crystallized is an open world, actually city building action RPG, pretty much like a game I mentioned a few numbers earlier, coming as the first work of its developer in a 2D/top-down 3D style. Technically an RPG with hints of exploration, action, and base building sim elements, like sandbox games in nature. In any case, this one's coming to PCs only sometime later this year.